When I'm filming this, it is August 4th, so you know what that means. We gotta talk about the books that I read in July. Let me pull up my stats. So I read 5 books, and that brings me, at the end of July, I read 43 total books so far this year, which is very exciting. I read 2,299 pages. I had 1 5-star read, I had 2 4 stars, and I had 2 3.75 stars. Let's get into those. The first book that I read in July was Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I gave this book 4 stars. It was fun, it was silly, it was goofy, I enjoyed it. I also, just in general, really like Tessa Bailey's writing. So it's easy for me to like get through and read through, and it's just quick, fast, fun. I'm pretty sure that this is her first time writing a sports romance. Oh, maybe I should say that. This is a sports romance. So the male main character is a golfer, and the female main character is, I was gonna say a fan, but she's so much more than that. But seriously, she works at a PGA store, I don't know, a golf store at a golf course, and she teaches lessons, and she is a very good golfer in her own right. But I mean, I guess I don't know her full history, but I don't think she's ever like tried to be a professional golfer. But she was a professional fan of our male main character here. And so the book kind of starts out, he is going through a rough patch. He had a very hot start in his PGA career, went through a little bit of a rough patch, and basically everyone was counting him out. Not our girl, Josephine. Josephine did not count him out. So this is fun, silly, her becoming his caddy, helping him like with confidence and all of the things that come along with him like doing worse, and then like the spiral of him doing worse on tour. Super fun, super cute. I really enjoyed it. Lots of witty banter. This is definitely a grumpy sunshine, forced proximity. But yeah, this was fun and silly and goofy, and just there's been a lot of discourse lately on Book Talk, BookTube, all of the things about how it's been hard to rate books lately, and I feel that. I definitely feel that, and I feel like especially with Goodreads and all of the like reading and rating apps out there, that it has been getting more like difficult, and you feel more self-conscious about like rating books and like being worried about like what other people think. But at the end of the day, your rating is your rating. So if you enjoyed the book, you are allowed to enjoy the book even if someone else didn't enjoy the book. So rate it based on your feelings, but also based on genre, right? If you're reading a thriller, you want it to move quickly. You want the plot twist to be a plot twisty. But like with this, I don't need the plot twist to be plot twisty. It's like a silly little romance. Yes, I want it to be fast paced, but I don't need it to be as fast paced as a thriller, you know? I've seen a lot of like mixed reviews on this, and I just wanted to say 4 stars. I enjoyed it. If the premise sounds good to you, read it. Amen. Anyway, the next book that I read this month is so exciting. So this is Curious Tides by Pascal Lachelle. I have no idea how to say that, but here it is. This was my 5-star read of the month. Obsessed with this book. I think about this book all the time already, and I just finished it. I mean, not just, but like this last month. Anyway, this is a book that I was reading when we were like mid-hurricane, and like when we were doing yard work and like cleaning up all the debris from our yard, and we had 2 massive trees fall down. And so I was reading this during that time and still managed to get through it. So this is a little YA ? Fantasy? I'd say YA. The setting of this is a magical college, first of all. So setting the scene good. We love magical colleges. The magic system in this world is super unique, and I put this in my Goodreads review. Unique to me. I'm sure there's others that exist. I'm sure that this is not a groundbreaking idea, but to me, this was sick. So the magic system is all based on the tides and the moon, and it all depends on when you were born is what magical like powers you can potentially have. It's like waning moon, waxing moon, So new moon is all like healers, seers, shadow guides, and dark bearers. And then full moon has soul tenders, ward crafters, purifiers, light keepers. Waxing moon has sowers, glamours, amplifiers, and wordsmiths. Waning moon has dreamers, unravelers, memorists, and reapers. Also, your powers, if you do have, because not everyone has powers, but if you do have powers, they're stronger when it is your moon phase. So your waning moon powers are like very strong when it is a waning moon, but not as strong when it's a full moon. The other thing is that you can only use your powers. So you can't, there's not just like general magic that like everyone can do. It's, if you're a sower, so if you have the ability to like grow plants and stuff, that's what sowers are, then all you can do is that. That's it. However, some people, but very few, as you can probably imagine, were born on the eclipse. And so there's some lore in this world about eclipse borns, and some people are afraid of eclipse borns because they have less predictable magic and they are like at full power all the time. They don't have to wait for an eclipse like the other powers have to wait for like their moon phase. Eclipse born don't have to wait for that. This follows our main girly girl who goes out into a cave with some friends. The tide came in, everyone else drowned. Everyone else is presumed dead. Everyone drowned. And she went in, one of her very best friend from childhood was in the cave too, and she is presumed dead. And they have to figure out what the heck is going on. I feel like that was a horrible explanation of this book, but I promise you it's so good. I'm so excited for the next book because the next book comes out in November. I love it. I love it. It's big. It's a thick girl. Guys, 5 stars. I love this book so much, and I feel like no one's talking about it. I haven't seen it anywhere. I just like happened to randomly pick it up in Barnes & Noble one day. I don't know. It's so good. Get it, read it, love it. I love this book so much. The next book that I read in July was Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. So this is the Twisted series. This is book number 3. I gave this book 3.75 stars. Definitely not my favorite in the series so far. This is only book 3, but I liked it better than the first. So the first one I think is a 3-star. Second one was like a 5, maybe 4.5, 5-star read. I really enjoyed the second one, Twisted Games, and then Twisted Hate just kind of, I don't know, it didn't hit the way I wanted it to hit. So Twisted Hate follows Josh and Jules. It took me a very long time to actually pick up and read this book, and I feel like the main reason I did was because I put it on my TBR and I was really trying to stick to my TBR for the month. The female main character of Twisted Love, the first book, this is about her brother, Josh. I wasn't excited about reading about Josh, honestly. This one is not a grumpy sunshine, but it is forced proximity. Definitely a lot of lust before like love and romance. Definitely some like trauma bonding going on. I feel like honestly, the both of them, but she has a lot that she's going through and she's working through like emotionally in this book. So there's a lot of that going on. And they started out their relationship on a rocky foot, like when they had first met long ago. And so this is them like picking up later on and then realizing that they have like wrong not expectations, but like they misunderstood each other very much. So this is them realizing that they've like misunderstood each other and that they actually have a lot more in common than they thought they did. My one thing is what he does at the end of this book. This is the reason that I gave this book a 3.75 and not anything higher. It's because what he does at the end of this book, unforgivable. I could never, ever, ever, ever forgive someone for what they did, for them doing this to me, ever. I mean, props to them. I guess like love is love, and that's what I put in my Goodreads review. Love is love, but like I could never, there's no going back from that personally. Yeah, so that's why. So I have the last book. What's it called? It's over here. Twisted Lies is the last one. I want to read it. to finish the series. I'm not that excited about it. Her writing is like really easy to get through, so it's like not that big of a much, it doesn't feel like a task, but I'm just like not super excited about it. But I will. I don't know, just kind of meh. Those are my thoughts, meh. Now this book right here, the next book that I read, Powerless by Elsie Silver. Oh my gosh. Everyone says, okay, whoa, hold on. So this is a sports / small town romance. This is book number 3 in the Chestnut Hills series by Elsie Silver. I've been like slowly getting through the series. I want to just buy the rest and just read them immediately, but I'm trying to get through it slowly because I'm enjoying them so much. But I gave this book 5 stars. No, that's a lie. I did not. I gave this book 4 stars. Everyone says that this book is not their favorite in the series and it's like not the best in the series. However, I still loved it. I loved the 2 characters. I loved everything that they like had gone through. I loved the revelation at the end, or towards the end, that we find out is like the motivation behind the way the male main character has been treating the female main character for so long. And I just feel like this was so well written and so well thought out, and that these 2 characters like truly are made for each other 1000%. I just love this, and I love this series, and oh my gosh, Harvey at the end. If you've read this, talk to me in the comments down below and tell me how hard you cried over Harvey at the end. Like, that was so sweet. Like, I'm tearing up thinking about it. Anyway, highly recommend. This is a fun little romance. I guess other tropes. Kind of grumpy sunshine, but not really, because he's not like grumpy. He's just like quiet and introverted. Forced proximity. Sports, hockey, romance. He's a hockey player. 1 bed. There's a little 1 bed going on. I think those are all like the main things, but yeah, this was so fun and I'm so excited for the next one. Okay, finally, the last book that I read in July was Caraval by Stephanie Garber. The only reason I'm reading these books is because I want to read Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I want all the context, and I see people say you need to read the Caraval series before you read that one, so here we are. I would not be reading these books otherwise. With that being said, I gave this one a 3.75 stars as well. It was good. It was absolute and utter chaos the entire time. It's like I felt like I was constantly trying to catch up. Oh, also, this is a like YA fantasy. It's trials, kind of, but also like not, but kind of. It's like, it didn't feel like she was competing against anyone. It felt like our main character was just trying to do this on her own. Yeah, this is about like a magical carnival, kind of. It like the idea, it's like giving carnival, but then once you get there, you're like, wait, this is not a carnival. And yeah, our main girl has to go and try to save her sister, and that's like basically the motivating factor for every single thing that happens in this book, is like she's trying to protect her sister, and her sister ends up getting kidnapped, and so gotta find her. Yeah, it was just like chaos the whole time. The whole time I was like, what is going? And then the end, like what was the end of this book? But it was good. It wasn't bad. It was not bad, but like what was going on, you know? So Caraval is about a magical like carnival or show that is led by what's his name? Like Legend is his name, I'm pretty sure. Led by a guy, a magic guy. So the show happens sometimes, and once he performs, or once they have a show performance one place, they'll never do it there again. And I guess some shit went down, and at one of his shows, after a while, after like years, someone dies. And so he stops traveling, and he stops doing the show, and he gets in some trouble, pretty sure. But we find out he is about to have another show. And our female main character has been sending legend, the one in charge of the Caraval, the magical show, letters like asking him to come back to her town or her isle where she lives. But he never responds. And then finally she's like, hey, this is my last letter. I'm getting married soon. I'm engaged. Like, for the love of all things good, this is my last request for you to have a show here. And finally he responds and is like, hey, I can't have a show there, but I have a show nearby. Here's some tickets. You should come. So she has to basically break out of her dad's house. She's living at her dad's house with castle. I don't even know. It's not a castle. They're not royalty. Compound. They need to break out of the compound with her sister to try to go to the show. And she ends up playing the game. And things escalate from there. Chaos. Absolute chaos the whole time. So those are all the things. Those are all the books that I read in July. Absolutely nobody asked, but these are my 2 spreads. So these are my July spreads with all my ratings. And this is my August TBR. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all that I have to say today. I think that those are all my words. And these are the books that I read in July. So these are all the books that I read in July. I hope that your July was better than my July, and I hope that you didn't get hit by a hurricane. And I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day whenever you're watching this, or rest of your month. I don't know. Hope everyone has a great August. Have the best August you've ever had in your entire life. If you're not subscribed, because what the heck are you doing? If you made it all the way here and you didn't subscribe, what is going on? But yeah, as always, my Goodreads will be linked down below. Be sure to follow there for more live updates on what I'm reading. I just finished reading Book Lovers. Started that in August. That's gonna be in my August wrap up. Look out for that. But yeah, that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Bye.